starters. Sophomore guard, number 1, Michaela Stump. Freshman guard, number 3, Kayla Kendrick. Freshman guard, number 12, Marina Mallory. Sophomore floor, number 14, Kelsey Hunt. Freshman floor, number 32, Kennedy Dixon. Coach of the Lakers is Logan Lanier. And now for your Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Going into today's game, with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. Here are their starters. 5'6" junior guard number 2, Caitlin Smith. 5'8" sophomore guard number 3, Taryn Klein. 5'5" senior point guard number 15, CJ Venice. 5'11" junior forward number 32, Danielle Hansen. And 5'10" senior forward number 34, Nicole Buckingham. The Blue Devils are under the leadership of Kylie Biggs. Her assistants are Kaylee Patton and Zach Johnson. Team Spirit Manager is Olivia Lynn.
Welcome into LTSN, back for another edition of Blue Devil Women's Basketball, getting underway with the Wright State Lake in town. The Blue Devils hoping to bounce back from Thursday's conference loss to Siena Heights. Head coach Kylie Biggs, her team now 2-1 on the season. The quick trigger 3 from Taryn Klein, off the mark to get things underway. The 5 on the floor for your Blue Devils back in their silver uniforms tonight. Sherilyn Banis at the point, Taryn Klein, Caitlin Smith, Nicole Buckingham, and Danielle Hansen out there going up against this youthful Wright State Lake team that comes in at 0-1 on the year under head coach Logan Lanier. Spoke to an assistant coach for Wright State Lake before this one as Caitlin Smith gets us underway, knocking down the 3. It'll be great to see if she can get on a roll tonight along with Taryn Klein and Nicole Buckingham, a team that struggled offensively last time out to get going. I spoke to an assistant coach for Wright State Lake before this one, and she told me that the biggest challenge for the Lakers is simply their youth. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, no seniors, just 1 junior. The high arcing jumper down there from Kelsey Hunt. She is one of the captains as just a sophomore on this team from Union City. Nice turn and hook there from Danielle Hansen. Buckingham there to clean it up. She's been excellent on the boards in the early goings. Hansen will hope to get off to a better start this game. A 1 for 13 first half last time out. The Devils team looking to get their confidence back. Chance to do that tonight. Jab and a quick jumper there from Kayla Hedrick. Loose ball to Buckingham. Now up to Smith. She'll await her teammates to get back up the floor, and Banis can settle things down. Buckingham likes what you see is the open jumper with space off the mark, and the rebound pulled down. Jumper that time well off the mark from Kelsey Hunt, but the fortuitous offensive board goes to Michaela Recker, another one of the captains on this Laker team. Freshman guard. Now it's Smith. Then it knocks down her second 3. The junior from Holly. shot 34% from outside last season, and she has 6 of the Blue Devils' first 8. Dollarhide getting set to check in at the scores table. Meanwhile, a traveling violation.
Traveling violation, Lawrence Tech basketball. Into the game, the Blue Devils, number 4, Hope Dollarhide.
Buckingham, Blue Devils off to a nice start from distance. That one takes a high hop off the iron. And back comes Wright State Lake, looking to get settled in early here, coming off a big loss. In their opener against Grace College, a 30-point loss. They gave up 107 points. Lost that one 107-77. Here's Montgomery. No points in that loss to Wright State Lake, or loss to Grace College, rather. Logan Dan here calls reset. Here's the 17-footer. Nice job defensively from Buckingham. And now Banis across the timeline, looking ahead, streaking down. Taryn Klein to drop it back for Buckingham. In low they go to Dollarhide. Back to Nicole. Off the mark from distance. Yeah, but a foul call down low. We'll head back the other way here. It'll go against Taryn Klein. Blue Devils shot just 30% against Siena Heights. Off to a nice start here, including 2 triples. Possession arrow will stay with Wright State Lake here as Kendall Fisher makes her way in for Taryn Klein. Player who's been a boost of energy off the bench early on through the first 3 games. Fisher had 13 points in her debut against Ohio Christian. There's a pass that looks to go off a foot, possibly off of C.J. Banis' foot. The strip here, and the Blue Devils back the other way. Fisher along with Smith. Fisher attacks the cup and finishes at the rim. 10-4 start for LTU. The heavily favored Blue Devils off to a nice start shooting the basketball here. 4 for 9 so far. Another jumper that comes up very short. Wright State Lake had just 21 points through the first half against Grace College. Down the road, they feel that they can mature and turn into a team that can compete. It's all about the development, though, the maturation process with this Laker team. And speaking with their coaching staff, they talked about the transition from the high school game to the college game. Here's a player making a very nice transition from the high school to college game, Kendall Fisher. The speed uptick that goes along with that transition from high school ball to college ball. The Blue Devils have the ability to turn it over and really create a fast-paced up and down affair. If they can do that in this one, as we see Wright State Lake congested once again here, turning and spinning in the travel called on Michaela Stump there, the guard from Ansonia, Ohio. This could really cause problems for Wright State Lake if they do continue to turn the ball over. And that could cause the flustered minds and the young heads of this Laker team. Here's Dollarhide looking over to Fisher. Now Buckingham open once again. This time from 20 feet, she hits it. Buckingham averaging about 17 points a game through the first 3. Had an excellent first couple of games, but was defended very well by a tough Siena Heights team, as Blue Devils now find themselves looking to get back on track probably looking ahead to making their way back in the conference once that season gets underway. But for now, looking to get it done in the non-conference. A turnover there, looking for Buckingham from Fisher. Now a stop and pop jumper is down the hatch from Kennedy Dixon. And timeout called by Logan Dan here. Substitutions coming in when we come back. A 12-6 start for Lawrence Tech on the home floor with 3:48 to go. You're watching Blue Devil basketball on LTSN, the home for Blue Devil Athletics, our second matchup of the day on LTSN. Welcome back to LTSN. Errant pass out of the timeout there. And the Devils found themselves turning the ball over a lot more than they would have liked in the final few minutes of Thursday's matchup with Siena Heights. 3 big turnovers in what was a tight game down the stretch. Buckingham able to turn over the Lakers there with the long arms, using her height and getting it up to Klein, who's fouled on transition at the other end. It was Klein who carried late in that game against Siena Heights, and that kind of sparks a quick downfall for the Blue Devils in those final few minutes. As she knocks down the first. Excellent free throw shooter, a player that can certainly be utilized down the stretch in positive moments. They'll look to build on that, though. Obviously the first time when they found themselves in a position like that this year. Plenty of experience on this team, though. Only one newcomer, Kendall Fisher. 9 returners. Buckingham was called for her first foul there. Just the second team with 3:22 to play in the first. Nice defensive job from Bannis there. I mentioned the Blue Devils did lose one player, and that was Haley Walkowski, a player who made plays just like that during her tenure as a Blue Devil, and you can't make up for her with one player. It will be a multitude of Blue Devils that will have to make plays just like that throughout this season. Typically when you only lose one player, you think, okay, it's not too much of a deduction going into the next season, but Walkowski feels like multiple players when you did watch her. It felt like she did just about everything for this team. Nice pump and a nice drive from Klein. She'll be charged for the offensive foul this time, though. So it'll be interesting moving forward how they do make up for the loss of Walkowski. It's obviously a learning process. Siena Heights was able to pull off somewhat of a revenge in that last game on Thursday. Lawrence Tech obviously ended their season last year on this floor. Another turnover. Buckingham to Fisher, and she capitalizes. 15-6 now. Blue Devils with 2:50 to play in the first, wreaking havoc for this Siena Heights team. These young guards that don't have much experience, struggling to dribble the ball here. Kayla Hedrick, the freshman, in her second collegiate game. This Wright State Lake team won a scrimmage, but then were blown out in their regular season opener by 30. Gave up 100 plus on several occasions last season. The Blue Devils go up against Great Lakes Christian next time out. They had a season high 121 last time they faced Great Lakes Christian. As Wright State Lake really having trouble getting to their offensive sets now. And that'll lead Bannis into the near corner. Baseline drive this time for Fisher. Up and finishes off the window. Easy walkway to the cup. Fisher said after her first game that she was a little nervous, but was able to shake off those nerves. And she apparently has shaken them off, getting it up to Buckingham, who was caught from behind there by Karina Mallory. The freshman guard did a nice job of getting back and stopping the 2-on-1. That's the type of effort that Wright State Lake will need if if they have any chance of producing positivity throughout these 4 quarters. If not, this could turn into a game where the Blue Devils are just padding their stats and improving the cosmetics. Another open shot. This is a 2 from Buckingham. That is down. Buckingham had just 3 points on 1 of 9 shooting last time out. Went 0 for 4 from deep. Looking to bounce back here. That was a stark contrast from her first couple of performances when she went for 27 in 29 minutes against Ohio Christian. This offensive rebound here from Bannis, the senior leader and point guard. Once again open Buckingham. High hop off the iron, pulled down there. Smith and Landgolf getting set to check back in for LTU. Just 8 players on this Laker roster. We wonder if fatigue will turn into an issue. Really struggling to shoot the ball right now. We saw them having struggles in warm-ups. Kylie Biggs directing the team to pick up the pace a bit there, and bounce pass decline, and the foul was called on Karina Mallory.
Lakers foul number 12, Karina Mallory. Her second, team third. Into the game for the Blue Devils. Number 2, Caitlin Smith.
Second for Mallory, 42.9 to play in the first. A couple of early fouls for her. Almost every player on this Wright State Lake team is key in their own right as Caitlin Smith is off to a hot start. She's been a flamethrower early on. Her 3rd triple, and the Blue Devils are up 22-6. Caitlin Smith had a 24-point game in her freshman season in non-conference play. Off to an excellent start here. 9 points on 3 of 3. Blue Devils strip it away again with 6 on the shot clock, but a bit over anxious there. Possibly thinking they had less time than they actually did. Nine points off of turnovers for LTU in this first quarter. 22 points total, almost half of their points off of turnovers. That one almost drops at the buzzer from Hedrick, but 22-6 at the end of one. Caitlin Smith off to a hot start. The junior from Holly leading the way with 9 points in 7 minutes. We'll be right back on LTSN. Welcome back to LTSN, getting the second quarter underway here in Southfield, a 22-6 start. So this one, Blue Devils looking to bounce back after their loss to Siena Heights on Thursday. Tight conference affair. 0-1 in WAC play after that. Blue Devils are picked second in the WAC preseason poll, a team still trying to find their groove offensively. A loss that I don't think will indicate the rest of the year. Adjustments definitely to be made. Glad to have it early in the season as Smith continues her hot streak. She's feeling it in the first half. 4 threes. This will be another turnover. Caitlin Smith with a smile on her face, drawing her inner Steph Curry early on here. A week of offensive explosions in the game of basketball. Smith started backtracking to the three-point line there, but Klein lost it. Charge called at the other end. Landgolf laying out there. Another guard who has played very well in this early season. Her sophomore campaign, learns under Banis last year. Playing time is up this season, and she's made the most of it. 25-6 start to this one. Blue Devils with an opportunity to put up a lot of points on the board this afternoon. A struggling Wright State Lake team, and jogging back the other way, here comes Kendall Fisher. Smith tees it up. Got it! Caitlin Smith, her fifth. She's 5 for 5 with 15 points. Caitlin Smith, the sophomore guard, the junior guard rather. This has been fun to watch, putting on a display of what she can do. Her career high, as I mentioned earlier, is 24. We'll go back the other way again. Caitlin Smith providing some electricity on this Saturday afternoon. 28-6 Blue Devils with 8:43 to play now in the second quarter. Will they look to her again? She's open again. How do you leave her open again? She got it! She's feeling it. This is fun to watch. A flamethrower, 6 for 6 with 18 points. Mentions the NBA after her 4-3, and I think I said Steph Curry. Klay Thompson broke Curry's record earlier this week for most threes in the game. Could Caitlin Smith be in search of possibly an LTU record for threes in a game? 6 for 6 now, 18 points. Leading the way, Fisher has 6 on 3 of 4. At the line here is Karina Mallory, the freshman. Mallory went 4 for 13 in her collegiate debut for 10 points. She's 2 for 5 at the line, 31-7 now. I think you have to put some sort of tracker on Smith. Just obliterating this zone defense right now from Wright State Lake. The team that gave up 107 in their opener to Grace College. 5 on the floor right now. Taryn Klein, Danielle Hansen, Kendall Fisher takes the inbound pass. Emily Landgolf. Klein, you don't want to leave her open either. This could really open up the floor right now if they're going to try to somewhat double Caitlin Smith, kind of a quasi-double there on Smith, and Klein can get on a roll of her own. Another errant pass. Klein chases after it over half court with Fisher, goes up strong, easy bucket. 33-7. Display of shooting from the Blue Devils. 12 for 21 as a team. 6 for 12 from deep. Smith, who's watching the ball carrier, Kennedy Dixon right now. Now Smith doing it on the defensive end. Electricity the other way. Here's Landgolf powering up ahead with Hansen. Klein, Landgolf, Klein, easy. Clockwork, tic-tac-toe. 35-7, 7:05 to play in the second. Timeout called from Logan Dan here. He wants to talk things over. Blue Devils have a 28-point lead with still 7 minutes to go in the second on LTSN. You're watching Blue Devil Women's Basketball. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to LTSN, and look at the star of the first half getting her due praise. Caitlin Smith, the junior from Holly, in the starting lineup for the first time since her freshman year. This has been an incredible start. 18 points in the first half on 6 of 6 from deep, scorching the defense of the Lakers. Mentioned her career high is 24. That was against Purdue Northwest as a freshman. As the bucket is down there for the Lakers out of the timeout. Logan Dan here drawing up the ATO. Buckingham in the corner. That's another long two. Around and out. Hanson and low. Smith. Ooh, I was waiting for it. Was she going to step into another? Banis. The drive, the kick. Oh, and we got 3 in the key on Hanson as Smith was open and ready to fire again there. Just finding such gaps in this defense. It's a little zone look, but a stark contrast to what we saw from the tight man-to-man pressure that Siena Heights was playing that really disrupted this Wright State Lake team. You think that perhaps, you would have taken a look at the film on that and a questionable defensive system that they're going with right now. Blue Devils have pushed in transition as well. 37-9 with under 6 to play in the second. Wright State Lake only had 11 points in the first quarter of their matchup against Grace College. 21 total first half points. A nice denial in the steal from Hanson. They only have 9 now. Blue Devils looking to push the other way. The strip at the other end. Getting back was Michaela Stump. 21 total points in that first half for Wright State Lake. Blue Devils defense is pressuring up. Coaching staff wasn't happy after that first loss against Siena Heights. They have responded well. Hanson has responded well. Blue Devils have Grace Christian College next Wednesday. That'll be the Community Schools Day, special occasion, a game that starts at 11 a.m. They bring in a selected school, and kids get to be a part of the audience. Banis, a nice job there defensively, looking for the cut down low. Initial denial, but a nice fall away, light, close range shot from Kennedy Dixon. Back on the Blue Devils, looking to push in transition. Buckingham leaking out, looking in low. Hanson, easy finish with the left hand. Hanson, her 4th point of the day on 2 for 3 shooting. As the Blue Devils eclipse the 40 mark. LTU had 28 in the first half against Siena Heights. They were down at the end of one, clawed back in the second to take the lead. A back and forth third. For the most part, a back and forth fourth, and then Siena Heights pulled away at the end. In transition, Siena Heights trying to pressure in the backcourt. That is not giving them any sort of positive outcome right now. Landgolf off on the short range. Frustrated with herself after that one, but still what is currently a 30-point lead. Jason Ross Jr. here with you. Our excellent LTSN team on the second of a doubleheader today. As the Blue Devil men's soccer team was able to find a magical final 10 minutes of the second half and advance to the semifinals of the WAC tournament. Our fall sports coming to an end. Those tournament plays getting underway. Quarterfinals in women's volleyball next week. A couple of substitutions coming in here as Hope Dollarhide and Alex Ruster will make their way in. The drive, and now the dish looking for Kennedy Dixon. Kelsey Hunt trying to wrap it around, and she was called for the frustration foul. Tyler Hyde in the paint, unable to get the roll there. Under 4 to play in the first half, and that has been a reoccurring theme for Wright State Lake. Just kind of a puzzled look there on the face of Kennedy Dixon. Those are the type of turnovers that are pretty simple, pretty fundamental. Just haven't been able to get into any sort of a rhythm because of plays like that. Wright State Lake turned it over 27 times in their season opener. They're already up to 16 in the first half with 3:30 to go in the second. And LTU, in turn, has scored 18 points off of those 16 turnovers. Smith currently on the bench, cooling down a bit, both figuratively and literally. Back up top they go here. Kayla Hedrick. And the 17th turnover. They get it right back, though. Hedrick now driving through traffic. Buckingham knows she can take it away from her and does just that. 18th turnover. Fisher fouled at the other end. The freshman from Fort Wayne, Kendrick, just continues to struggle at the point guard spot, having a discussion with her coach right now, as her fellow Fort Wayne, Indiana native, Kendall Fisher, will go to the line here. Apologies, Indianapolis, Indiana native, Taryn Klein from Fort Wayne. 2 Indiana natives on the Blue Devil roster. And now Kendrick will be stared down once again here by this Blue Devil defense. Goal down the floor each time at this point just has to be keeping possession of the basketball and somehow getting in your set. 42-11 with 2:40 to play. The heavily favored Blue Devils have lived up to the expectations coming into this one. No points in the last 2 minutes for Wright State Lake. Blue Devils in a little bit of a mini drought of their own as well. No points in the last 2:22. Buckingham, another steal. That was her 5th of the first half. Now she has it. Pumps, passed. Banis looks in low. Fisher finds herself open off the pass from Tyler Hyde, but the jumper is long. Fisher, up to that point, she was 4 for 5 with 9 points. So Landgolf comes in for Fisher here. Just over 2 to play. Wright State Lake, they've stemmed the tide a little bit over the last couple of minutes. Probably their most positive 2 minutes of the game. Not offensively, but defensively. Banis, quick swing into the corner. Buckingham, nice ball movement here, nice and crisp. CJ puts it on the deck, finds Ruster. She can hit that off the mark. Blue Devils 6 of 15 from downtown. All 6 of those makes have come from Caitlin Smith, who gets the call back in and gets a smile from her head coach, Kylene Biggs. Rather, that's Taryn Klein coming in along with Caitlin Smith. Yep. With 5 on the shot clock here. Dixon pulls up with a hand in her face. And Dixon has been one of the bright spots in this one for Wright State Lake, one of the few bright spots, if not the lone bright spot. She's at least displayed leadership. Buckingham open, hits it. Buckingham has done more than just scoring the basketball in the early goings. Excellent rebounding through 3 games. Broke her career high for rebounds in the first game of the season with 12 against Point Park. The second game of the season, rather. And turning here, off the glass again. Another nice jumper from Dixon. Shot clock is off for Emily Landgolf, looking to answer back. So leave about 6 seconds on the shot clock. Leaking down at the other end goes Meckenhoff, and she'll run herself out of bounds there with 1.7 on the clock. Late substitutions. Smith inbounds, just a half-court heave. Ooh, comes up just short. A fun first half, highlighted by 18 on 6 of 6 from downtown from the junior guard, Caitlin Smith, 45-15 after 2. We'll go to the break and look for some more fireworks from the three-point line when we come back in the second half. Welcome back into LTSN. A look at the star of the first half, Caitlin Smith. She was incredible, going 6 for 6 from deep, 18 points. Best three-point output from any player of any team in the WAC so far in this early season. Klay Thompson-esque from earlier in the week. (45-15) first half. Wright State Lake just a litany of turnovers. Blue Devils capitalized to perfection. 19 points off of turnovers in that first half. It was dominant, it was succinct, and plays just like that. It was pretty much the recurring theme through 2 quarters. And Wright State Lake picking up right where they left off, and not in a good way. Taryn Klein will inbound here. 3 points on 1 for 3 shooting so far. CJ Banis, the all-time assist leader in Blue Devil history, now to the 1,000-point scorer. Nicole Buckingham in deep. Banis wraps around, couldn't quite finish. Hansen's been good down low so far. Back up and in, and she'll go to the line here.
Wright State foul number 3, Kayla Kendrick, her first, team first. Shooting on the line for Blue Devils, number 32, Danny Hansen.
Hansen had plenty of praise from her head coach, Kylene Biggs, after that second victory over Point Park, and spoke to Danielle about that. She said, when you do have that back from your coach and the motivation, that does serve well on the floor and definitely helps out these players. Such great team chemistry. A team that made it to the NAIA Division II National Tournament last season in Iowa and faced a first-round exit. They have aspirations to get back to that same tournament this season, but it all starts with WAC play. 0-1 so far after the upset, but they'll hope to bounce back. And it is a team that will certainly, despite that loss, still be looked on to grab plenty of victories in the conference this season. A team that is coming off an excellent year, program record 25 wins, went 16-4 in the conference. Timeout called by Wright State. Last year it was a 2-1, or 3-1 rather, start to conference play for LTU. And we'll get back into WAC play on November 14th when Madonna comes to town, a rivalry matchup to kick off the conference season. Always a good matchup. Blue Devils lead the all-time series against the crosstown rivals from Livonia, 9-5 overall. Once again, Great Lakes Christian College on November 7th. That's next Wednesday. 11 a.m. start to that one. If you can't be here to watch it on LTSN, or if you can't make it, remember that game will be archived on the LTU Athletics YouTube and Facebook page all season long. This is our fourth of 15 broadcasts on LTSN for the women. Total of 27 broadcasts in our package this year between the men and the women. Eventually, obviously, when WAC play gets underway, these turn into double headers. Women play first, men play second. That'll always be fun. We look forward to that conference play getting underway. Danny Hansen once again down low. And Hansen now with 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Leading scorer in the first half for Wright State Lake was Kennedy Dixon. She's out on the floor right now for Wright State Lake, along with Kayla Kedrick, Rina Mallory, and Michaela Stump. Their guards really struggled in that first half to keep possession of the ball. A lot of them very young, mostly freshmen. Once again here, miscommunication on the offensive side of things. Just having to lodge it down low. No good on the first opportunity, but up with the second here. And Smith comes away with the strip. She'll bounce to Banis, a Blue Devil team that emphasized holding their opponent to one shot in that last game against Siena Heights. They were able to do that for the most part, but something to still improve upon. Here's Dixon, watched tightly by Buckingham. The screen and a switch from Hansen. We'll go back up top here for Stump. The trigger from Dixon. She'll need to carry most of the scoring load this season. For Wright State, potential 3-on-2 here. The look to push. Smith holds, triggers short. Her first miss from distance. She'll reload. Got it. Didn't take long for her to hit another one after the miss. 7 for 8 now, not bad. 21 points, 3 away from tying her career high. Incredible performance from Caitlin Smith. She had 5 points against Point Park and then against Siena Heights. Last time out, went for 3 points, 9 points rather, on 3 of 8 shooting. Was 2 for 6 from deep in that game against Siena Heights. Fisher, wide open lane to the rim. Just walking in easily. A little hesitation at the three-point line. Might have not even needed it. 56-15. Dixon. Buckingham directs Smith to check her here. Tight defense. 4 on the shot clock. Looking in low. Kelsey Hunt. No good. Buckingham's board. Her 6th of the game, and now she pushes. Multiple guards in this Blue Devil team that can dribble it up the floor with comfort. Dollarhide knocks it down. Hope Dollarhide, and she's on the board with her first triple of the game. This Blue Devil team now 8 for 20 from deep. And 1 away from hitting 60, with still 5:15 to play in the third quarter. Lunging floater, that time in the paint there from Karina Mallory, and it's off the mark. Seven of 21 total from the field on the Wright State Lakeside as Rachel Price finds the bucket. 0 for 8 from downtown for Wright State Lake. It doesn't feel like 7 of 21, I guess, is, that's 33%, but they simply just haven't been able to take a lot of shots because they haven't been able to get shots off. They've turned the ball over half of their possessions. You compare that to the Blue Devils, who have taken 35 total attempts from the field. Potentially another turnover, tie-up called. This will go to the Blue Devils. Landgolf and Ruster can check back in. The Devils could be on their way to one of the largest victories in Kylene Biggs' tenure. She'll call a timeout here. Her team is up 61-15. With still 4:21 to play in the third. Somewhat of a football score on a college football Saturday here in Southfield. Third quarter, still 4:21 to go. We'll be back here on LTSN. Back here at LTSN, that's been A movie that Wright State Lake has watched over and over again in this one as Kendall Fisher goes to the cup again for now her 12th point of the night on 5 of 7 shooting. By the way, they called that Caitlin Smith 3, I guess a long 2, so she's still 6 of 7 from deep with 20 points now as we continue to track her brilliant performance. Shot clock violation there, goes down in the books as another turnover. Smith crossing back and forth here, goes right of a Price screen, now looking down low, called for the travel. 3:28 to go in the third, 63-15 the score. The lead is 48. Dribbling it back up near the half-court line, Kennedy Dixon. And we're going back the other way once again. How many times will we say that tonight before this thing wraps up? 21 turnovers now. 19 points from the bench of Lawrence Tech as well. Here's Ruster off the bench. Price, and she gets it to go. Another player off the bench. Price, the Tiffin University transfer. Springsboro, Ohio. Player who averaged about 5.5 points per game last year to go along with 5 rebounds. As knocking down the jumper there is Michaela Stump. Nice job to line it up. Sophomore guard. 2-3 zone again here. We'll go back to the man-to-man, I guess. 2-3 zone really hurt them in that first half. That was when Caitlin Smith just found her rhythm. Open space in that zone. Fisher called for the foul from behind there. As looking to push the other way was Hedrick. 2:13 to go. Not quite the competition that we saw a couple of days ago in WAC play, kind of illustrating the difference in the intensity that you can see at times in non-conference play versus what will be a very competitive WAC this year. Expect to see more thrillers like that as we go. It was considered an upset by most, but head coach Kylene Biggs went into that one knowing it would be a physical battle. She expected excellent post play as a nice teardrop from Landgolf goes there off the high glass, contested in the paint. Lead is up to 50, and that comes up short. 1:29 to play in the third. Tyler Hyde, who has knocked down a 3 of her own, she'll outlet up here to Kendall Fisher, who can slow things down. Devils have been a very balanced team today. Hard screen from Price. That allowed for another clear lane from Fisher, unable to finish. Back comes Dixon, the lone bright spot for Wright State Lake tonight. They had 21 in the first half against Grace College. Gave up 127, but ultimately ended up scoring 77 points. Certainly not on their way to a 70-point output today. It'll be a struggle to even hit the 20 mark through 3 quarters at this point.
Into the game for Blue Devils, number 34, Nicole Buckingham. Into the game for the Lakers, number 10, Cassie Menschhofer, and number 22, Michaela Rucker.
Under 60 seconds to go now in the third. Pleasure to have you back here on LTSN in this lopsided affair. Jason Ross Jr. here with you, producer Kia Tyus. Ali Hadi running the cameras. Hope Tyler Hyde comes out with the steal there. Potential 2 for 1. Buckingham sees it. She'll push. Nice close there from the defending guard, Michaela Stump. Landgolf, right of a Dollarhide screen. Took it by herself. Dollarhide, nice offensive board. Went crashing down. And we'll go back the other way. Shot clock is off here for the Lakers. Just trying to build, if you're Logan Dan here, trying to coach up his girls, trying to find some positive within the negative. Can you find a silver lining from this? Price, the denial there. And that will end the third quarter. Rachel Price wraps it up, a player who broke the single-season record for blocks with 64 last season. The denial and the 50-point lead headed into the fourth. We'll be back here on LTSN. One more to go. Blue Devils in search of their third victory of the year. Welcome back to LTSN. One more to go. Wonder what the discussion will be like for Wright State Lake at the end of a game like this. They'll have to make the trip back, just under a 3-hour drive. Came in this morning. Once again, a very young team with no seniors. Went 6-20 last season. It's hard to believe this is a team that did put up 43 points in the fourth quarter of their first game of the season against Grace College. Actually outscored Grace College by 20 in that fourth quarter. Here they are with a nice start to the fourth quarter, driving there and getting fouled. It was Michaela Rester. Really interesting first game when you look back on it. I mean, they were just dominated in the first half. Ultimately lost the game 107-77. Just kind of paradoxical. Doesn't match up with the fact that they outscored, again, Grace College by 20 in that fourth quarter. Takeaway there that they scored 43. But still shy of 20 points with 9:30 to play in the fourth. The story tonight, though, has been Caitlin Smith. She has been incredible. 20 points on 6 of 7 from deep. Went 6 of 6 from downtown in the first half. It was a fun display of pure shooting. Ruster tacking it on. That was the 10th team 3 of the game for the Blue Devils.
Wright State substitution, number 3, Kayla Kendrick.
Buckingham with 13 tonight. Fisher has 14 off the bench on 6 for 9 shooting. Good to see a few players bounce back after tough outings against Siena Heights. Once again, not the defensive pressure that they faced against the Saints. But this is a good kind of bounce back game. Recover the confidence as Landgolf does well to split the double team there. Ruster, this time she puts it on the deck, mixing it up a bit after knocking down a 3 on the previous possession. And she'll earn a couple of free throws.
Right state foul, number 1, Michaela Stump. Her second, team first. Shooting on the line for the Blue Devils, number 10, Alex Ruster.
Ruster shot 66% at the line last season. knocks down the first to make it 71-18. Interesting to find out post-game what the mentality was coming into this one after Thursday. Did the Blue Devils kind of decide to just let it go, or do you look back on that and try to take away the positives and the negatives to try to move forward? Looks like this is going to be an offensive foul on Landgolf, a push-off, but we'll have those post-game questions for you after this one. You can head over to the various LTU Athletics social media channels, the LTU Women's Basketball social media channels, where you can focus in on just these girls throughout the season. Follow along with all the behind-the-scenes action, post-game, pre-game, photos, videos. You can follow along on Facebook as well. YouTube, our LTU Sports Report will have highlights of this one, along with every game throughout the season as Buckingham goes down hard. Glad to see her get up off the deck quickly there. But that'll be 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday on Fox Sports Detroit, the LTU Sports Report. Every Monday you can tune in. Buckingham does come out here. Looks like she's okay. Gets the high fives from her teammates. Kendall Fisher makes her way back in, 72-18 right now, with 8:23 to play in the fourth. You can also see highlights of the magical ending to the men's soccer tournament game against Cornerstone earlier today. You can also check that one out on the LTU Athletics YouTube channel. There's the senior Santiago Amigo in the final 10 minutes, tying it, sending it into overtime. And then Alvaro Garcia in overtime, breaking the hearts of the Golden Eagles in what was a spectacular comeback victory. Landgolf teeing up a three and knocking down a three. Emily Landgolf, she's gotten off to such a nice start to this season through 4 games now. Kicked things off with a career high in the opener to get the Blue Devil Classic underway. Fisher, a nice job defensively there, forcing Stumpf into the corner. A tough shot there. Long rebound, heads back out. Nice step back to the left there. And the jumper from Karina Mallory is down. Fisher can push the pace the other way. She'll peel back out to Landgolf. Price posting up down low. They'll look to her here. The nice denial, though. Expecting the pass there was Kelsey Hunt. Price with a solid 3-4 inches down there on Hunt. Ruster, the versatile forward, serpentining her way into the paint and drawing a foul.
Wright State foul. Kennedy Dixon, number 32, her first. Team third.
Goes 0 for 2. Blue Devils at 75 points. They averaged 71 a season ago. Another turnover there. Wright State Lake averaged about 58 points a game last year. Once again, 77 in the first game for Wright State Lake. It's hard to believe with what we're seeing here. Nice side step from Kendall Fisher. Fisher now with 16 points, career high for Kendall Fisher through 4 games. Tie up, possession arrow, Blue Devils basketball once again. This is the first matchup between the history of these two teams. Mentioned Buckingham's bounce back this afternoon on the bench right now. She's 1 rebound away from a double-double, averaging 10 boards a game through these first 4. Here's Landgolf. Mentioned her excellent start. Wraps her way around traffic. The air ball, shot clock didn't reset. Fisher threw it up, couldn't hit it. Pushing the pace the other way, come the Lakers. Stop and pop from 17, off the front of the rim. Fisher the board, nifty behind the back move, keeps it alive. Ruster, sporadic sequence in the backcourt. And now they'll go to Fisher, and this game can breathe a little bit. We're going to call an illegal screen here with 5:58 to play in the 4th.
Foul, number 44, Rachel Price, her second, team third.
57-point lead for LTU right now with 5:50 to play in the 4th. Hop step into the lane from Stumpf. Dollarhide the board. It's Hope's 4th rebound of the game. Transition game the other way, leads the bucket from Landgolf. She continues to play well with 7 points now. Wright State Lake coming in at 0-1. Blue Devils coming in at 2-1 on the season off their first loss. It was imperative that they responded here. They've done just that. Another one on Wednesday that they will be favored in against Great Lakes Christian. Looking down the schedule, you'll have Grace College and Indiana Wesleyan after that. A couple of good teams in the Leah Whitaker Memorial Invitational Tournament. Down in Marion, Indiana, Blue Devils will kick WAC playoff with Madonna on the 14th. That'll be in Livonia. And on the 17th, we're back here for a matchup with UNOH at 1 p.m. That'll be a Saturday. We'll be back in a quick moment here on LTSN. Timeout called. 79-22. Welcome back to LTSN. Quick turnover there out of the timeout for LTU. That's been a rarity. For the most part, we've said that about Wright State Lake tonight. Fisher trying to steal it right back. You'll see her do that quite often. Jumpy defense there. 3 is off the mark. Ruster up to Landgolf. Dollarhide and Price in with her. Here's Dollarhide. Elbow jumper. Comes up just short. And now they'll hustle back on defense. Nice job to get through traffic that time from Kayla Kendrick.
Kayla Kendrick with the basket.
Kendrick's first bucket of the night. Dixon still leading the way for Wright State Lake with 12. Into the paint here, Price turning, hooking, unable to finish. Couldn't quite get that roll. I guess if there's one thing that you could say for Lawrence Tech, finishing up maybe the touch around the rim down the road. In WAC play, the tight defense, those will be buckets that they'll look to get on a more consistent basis, I guess. Open space and a little 15-footer from Fisher. Dollarhide getting her own board twice. Second effort, a third effort. And the Blue Devils are up 81-27 now. Off a couple of rebounds from Dollarhide that snapped a 7-0 run for Wright State Lake. Probably the brightest 136 or so of the game for Wright State Lake. Blue Devils have done a nice job contesting shooters for the most part. We saw it on display in that possession. Landgoff pushing. Nice run here. Shovels to Dollarhide, who finishes. It's another element of the game that this Blue Devil team possesses, and it'll be fun to watch. Perhaps see them do more of that. Have the intention of pushing it up and down the floor, especially against the Siena Heights team that, you know, wants to keep you pressured up in that half court, wants to get you deep in the shot clock. Blue Devils were deep in the shot clock quite often against Siena Heights, but they are those quick buckets, easy buckets. Fisher called for the foul there, and at the line here will be Stump.
Into the game, Lakers, number 0, Amanda Bonino, and number 14, Kelsey Hunt. Shooting on the line for the Lakers, number 12, Karina Mallory.
.254 to play. Price open again, just leaking behind the Wright State Lake defense. That's, at some point, you have to wonder about the effort when you have that on multiple occasions. Players simply not getting back for the Lakers. The turnovers are one thing, but not running back hard enough. Once again, Blue Devils down the floor here. Fisher. A career high 18 points for Kendall Fisher. It's been efficient as well, 8 for 12 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep. One of the players who has had a nice bounce back game, nice bounce back performance in general from this team. Hope Dollarhide defending here. She's had a nice bounce back game as well. Emily Landgoff over the timeline with Ruster in transition. She'll trigger. She's knocked one down already and hits another. A beautiful display of shooting continues for the Blue Devils, especially from deep, where they are now 12 for 27. And they hit the 90 mark. Second game in a row that Wright State Lake has given up 90. Gave up 100 plus in the first game. That's surrounded out. If the Blue Devils keep them under 30, that could be somewhat of a, I guess, statistical achievement that we could look back to. But I mean, the stats don't really matter at this point. It has been a solid performance. That's been too easy. The effort, once again, just lacking from the Lakers now. You wonder what the post locker room discussion will be like after seeing plays like that. That has really been an illustration of this fourth quarter of this entire game. Under a minute to play. Ruster looking for another. Ruster's third triple, and she's up to 11. 4 players in double figures for LTU. And it's a 66-point lead. This will go down as the largest victory Kylie Biggs' tenure. That comes up short, and now the Blue Devils do have a legitimate chance of keeping Wright State Lake under 30 points for the game. Appears that'll be the case. They'll wind it down and bounce back with a 66-point win at home. Clinical performance from start to finish. Wonder what the reaction will be like on both sides. This one in deep contrast to the last time out. 3-1 on the season now for LTU. Back at it on November 7th when Great Lakes Christian College comes to town. We'll have that broadcast for you right here on LTSN starting at 11 a.m. And then the Blue Devils will head out on the road for a bit. Once again, Blue Devils close it out. in easy fashion from start to finish. Bouncing back, it was a big one. 95-29. You don't see this very often. It was fun to bring it to you, though. Jason Ross Jr. signing off. For producer Kia Tyus and behind the screens tonight, Ali Hadi. Have a wonderful afternoon.